What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan 2016 here, and today we have another Roseville International Airport update for you guys, and this will be for the month of January 2023. The first ever airport update for 2023 is here, and we're going to be starting off with Roseville International Airport. Well, of course, I've been doing this airport ever since April 2022, but we are now in 2023, and I'm eager to see on what the traffic is going to look like, or the airport operations is going to look like for Roseville for the start of the new year. Well, technically it's still a new year, 2023 is still new, but we're gonna see what happens for this airport update. So let's begin today's airport update with our first aircraft, and we're gonna be starting off, of course, we're gonna be going to Gate Alpha 1, or if I can, maybe, yeah, I think I'd rather just like start off with Gate Alpha 1 and go all the way to Gate Alpha 12. And if there's something on the taxiway, then we're gonna check it out afterwards. So, let's begin with our first aircraft. Let's start here with our Delta Airlines Boeing 767-300ER. Pulling into Gate Alpha 1, she had just arrived from New York's JFK Airport at 9:50 a.m. So this is not 9:50, this is actually a afternoon departure. So she arrived here at 9:50 p.m. instead. So I would see these in San Francisco. They would usually arrive here in the afternoon. I don't really recall seeing a Delta 767 in the morning. Well, I do back then, but mainly they would operate flights to JFK from San Francisco, or to San Francisco, around the evening. So this is the evening flight. It's kind of like a delay. It's not a delay actually. It doesn't say remarks. But this aircraft just arrived from JFK, like I said, at 9:15, or not 9:15, 9:50 p.m. So there she is right there. Next up at Gate Alpha 2, we have a Delta Airlines Airbus A220-100, and this aircraft had just arrived from Seattle-Tacoma International Airport at 2:03 p.m., which she was delayed for a 1:29 p.m. departure, well, arrival time in this case. And probably the main reason for that is the crew delay, because like I had a flight before. This was from Seattle to Sacramento. That was back in December 11th when like a crew delay happened, because like the previous crew on that previous flight had to like come here, and their flight was delayed too, so they arrived here in Seattle. It's the same thing as like that previous flight. The crew was delayed in Seattle because like they weren't there on time, and therefore they arrived here late. So quite unfortunate for that from Delta Airlines, but they still managed to bring their passengers here in Roseville safe and sound. And this aircraft will be departing back to Seattle, or this is the returning flight, at 2:56 p.m. And this aircraft is filling in for E-175, which Gemini Jets hasn't made around this time. I'm just hoping it can be made in 2023. I hope this happens. And yeah, just like JJ Skippy, I won't stop saying it until it's made. So Todd and Elliot, please make it this year. We've been wanting that model for quite a long time, and I just want it to be made in 1/400 scale now. That's all I'm saying for that model. But yeah. But other than that, we have another Delta Airlines aircraft, and this is their Boeing 737-900ER at Gate Alpha 3. And this aircraft had just arrived from Atlanta at 10:55 a.m. My apologies. And it's an early arrival, because she was supposed to arrive here at 11:11 a.m. But I guess I think there was like a strong tailwind that propelled the aircraft much faster. So not too fast though. But she arrived here at 10:55 a.m. And this aircraft will be departing back to Atlanta, or making the returning flight, at 12:36 p.m. Gates Alpha 4 and 5 are empty, so we'll be jumping ahead into this other Delta Airlines A220-100. And this aircraft had just arrived from Salt Lake City at 4:06 p.m. and she'll be making the return flight at 5:18 p.m. So really nice to have two of these Delta A220s. They're very nice for my collection, and I know I said this a couple of times, but it's a nice aircraft to add to my collection and my Delta fleet, and they are very nice at this airport. And as you're seeing on that gray GSC you're seeing right there, that is actually a West Coast diecast GSC. So first time using this. I know I don't use them that much. Well, I haven't used them at all basically ever since the December update. So it's really nice to have that GSC for myself. I'm eager to try to like customize it, like paint it, and hopefully it turns out good. That's in a future plan, but for now I do have this GSC from West Coast Diecast, and I gotta say, it looks very nice. And here is a United Airlines Boeing 737-900ER in the Continental Globe colors. And this aircraft had just arrived from Denver at 3:42 p.m. and she's gonna be taking Gate Alpha 1 for her arrival gate. Over here we have a Breeze Airways number E195 at Gate Alpha 9. This aircraft had just arrived from Provo, Utah at 9:49 a.m. and this aircraft will soon be making a departure flight for San Bernardino at 10:49 a.m. I would love to try Breeze one day. I haven't even tried them, but they are a great airline, so I'm eager to try them one day, hopefully by the spring of this year. Pushing back out of Gate Alpha 10, we have a United Airlines Boeing 777-200 in the Evo Blue livery. This aircraft will soon be making the departure flight for Washington Dulles, where she departed out of Roseville at 1:14 p.m. Really nice to have this model into my collection, although it's not that perfect, at least it's somewhat good. And I think Gemini Jets did a decent job on this model. And shout out to Citrus Aviation for this route. He actually flew this route from San Francisco to Dulles, and it was his first time in San Francisco. I think he was there this month, so really nice to give him a shout out for this route. So Citrus, if you are watching this video, this one's for you. And pulling into Gate Alpha 11, we have a Breeze Airways Airbus A220-300. This aircraft had just arrived from Charleston International Airport at 1:38 p.m. and unfortunately, this route has ended for Breeze Airways on January 4th, so kinda like in the beginning of the year. And I think the reason for that is because I don't think a San Francisco to Charleston route isn't that good for the route network, so they decided to drop that off. But I see what Breeze did, and at least they're kinda like doing that just to make sure that their route network is flexible out of San Francisco and some other hubs in their route network. Well, I don't know if Breeze actually has hubs, but hopefully soon. And over here at Gate Alpha 12 is this United Airlines Boeing 757-300. This aircraft had just arrived from Los Angeles International Airport at 10:02 a.m., which is kind of strange for like a route for a Boeing 757-300 because like it's kind of like a short distance, and I think an Airbus A319 or a Boeing 737 would go for this route. So really interesting for United to choose a 757-300 for that route. So quite interesting right there. And this aircraft will soon be departing for Honolulu, and she departed out of Roseville at 10:15 p.m. So that is it for the terminal side of things, but before we get into the taxiing aircraft, let's go over the ramp area because we got something very cool to see. And here we have another Delta Airlines charter flight on the Boeing 757-200. And this aircraft had just arrived from Toronto Pearson International Airport with the Toronto Raptors on board, and they're going to be playing against the Sacramento Kings on the next day. So really interesting right there. I don't think I've never seen like a Toronto Pearson route for Sacramento, but actually Sacramento is going to be getting a Pearson route by July, so that's pretty exciting right there. But really interesting to see a charter flight from all the way to Toronto, Canada. So quite interesting right there. And as you can see, the buses are waiting for the players to be on board. And it's kind of like interesting because I would see two buses that are waiting for like the passengers, well, the sports teams and all the coaches to be on board before they can go into like the Golden One Center in Sacramento. So quite interesting right there. And the air stairs, I don't think I would see air stairs propped into the L1 boarding door. They're instead propped into the L2 boarding door instead. So hopefully if I can try catching a route next week, hopefully if I can try to catch a charter flight next month, then hopefully I can try to like put the jet bridge or the air stairs at the L2 door instead. So quite interesting right there. So this is kind of like what it looks like, to be exact, when the players are disembarking the aircraft. So quite interesting right there. So that is it on what's going on in the terminal and the ramp area. We only have one taxiing aircraft, and this aircraft is gonna be very interesting because quite rare to see this in Roseville. So let's take a look at that aircraft. And here's the rare visitor for today's airport update. Pulling into like the ramp area, we have an Air France Boeing 777-200ER. Really interesting to see this in Roseville. There's no international terminal yet, but Air France decided to like stop here because of a reason. So she arrived here from Paris Charles de Gaulle International Airport, and technically she was gonna be in San Francisco International Airport where she's gonna be landing. However, due to bad weather, she arrived here in Roseville at 2:35 p.m. and she's gonna be parking close to the Delta 757 in the ramp area. So really interesting right there, because like I did see this diversion, but it's an Air France 777-300ER in Sacramento. So as soon as I went to Sacramento, I was like, oh my god, how can an aircraft that big come to Sacramento? Because like Sacramento doesn't have a very long runway as compared to San Francisco. So that was very interesting to see an Air France 777-300ER at Sacramento International Airport, or technically a 777, because you would never see a 777 in Sacramento. So that was a very rare visitor, and I was so fortunate to catch it. And she went back to San Francisco at 5:02 p.m. and I managed to get like a good departure shot, but technically the video didn't turn out all that great. You can expect a video that coming soon, like next month, about that diversion. So really interesting diversion right there, and really interesting to see this Air France 333. So very cool right there. And before we round out today's airport update, we do have some aircraft that are holding short, so let's take a look at that. And here we have a situation on this side of the taxiway where 3 aircraft are holding for takeoff clearance. Now, you guys already know what's happening right here, but if you're living under a rock, here's what happened. So, on January 10th to the 11th, there was an FAA system outage where the notice to air missions, or NOTAMs, isn't responding or giving like the exact data on that certain airport. Therefore, it issued a nationwide ground stop, and this is the first time since September 11th that the FAA issued a nationwide ground stop for all aircraft. So, what a NOTAM is, it's a notice filed with an aviation authority to alert aircraft pilots of potential hazards along a flight or a location that could affect a flight. So, without that information, aircraft cannot take off at this airport unless it is provided or filed. So, quite unfortunate for these aircraft to be holding position here. And I do want to go over these aircraft. So we have a Delta 737-900ER. This aircraft was going to be heading to Minneapolis, but she's on hold. And then we have a United A319 that's going to be heading to Phoenix. That's also on hold. And the Sierra J200 from Delta Connection is heading to LAX, and she's on hold as well. But they did fix the problem on January 11th around the morning, and all aircraft are operating again. But other than that, quite unfortunate that this situation happened. It was kind of like a rough start. But other than that, they managed to fix it. That's all I can say. They managed to fix it, and passengers are now going to be flying again. Well, the passengers had to stay in the terminal for hours and hours and hours. So, really unfortunate for these flights to be delayed. But once again, thankfully the FAA solved that problem. So yeah. And that is it for today's airport update. So, I do have some final thoughts that I want to talk about. So, you can expect that in the next clip. So, let's dive into the next clip. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to be doing a handheld video for the conclusion portion of this airport update. So let me tell you guys on what's going to be happening for the next couple of months for 2023. So 2023 is kind of somewhat of a good start for my content and my channel. So really nice. We got some release reactions from NG models and Gemini jets, and I also uploaded a few spotting clips. Well, my spotting video from Seattle to be exact. So that is the December 2022 spotting video from Seattle. And yeah, that's basically it. Oh yeah, I also uploaded the LAX layover for January as well. So of course this year. And overall, those videos turned out very well. It get a lot of views. And especially for the Seattle video, the Seattle spotting video, that it's almost into 300 views, which is pretty nice. So really nice to see that video growing in views. So it did attract a lot of people right there, or viewers. So really exciting. But other than that, Roseville International Airport is off to a great start for 2023, as you can see. Well, except for the FAA grounding stops they had from the system outage. But other than that, still had the Delta A220 right there. Here it is right there. So there she is. And my second A220, which is also right there, looking pretty nice. And really interesting, like I said, for that Air France diversion from Sacramento that I captured earlier this month. And really interesting right there. And yeah, I'm excited to do some more Roseville Airport updates. And yeah, very fun start for 2023 for KRVL. Now, in terms of content that's going to be happening for 2023 and moving forward for this year, I may try to think of a new airport, like a 1 per 100 mile airport that I can try instead of sticking with Roseville. So I can try doing something like that. But other than that, if I have a airport update that I'm gonna be sharing you guys, and I'm gonna announce it. So really interesting right there, and quite an interesting start for KRVL. I know I said this, but once again, good start for KRVL. It's a single airport, and I may try do another airport, model airport in the future. So hopefully that is in the works. And yeah, Well, other than that, we got a couple of things I also want to talk about. Now, as you're seeing on the thumbnail, yes, that was taken on my iPhone 14 Pro, which, like I said, it's doing great in terms of like photo quality. I love it to bits, and yeah, really nice. And I may consider doing more of these because I tried doing it in the Canon camera, but it didn't turn out as planned, or it didn't have like a perfect photo of it. So I think nowadays I'm gonna start doing some airport update thumbnails on my iPhone instead, and yeah, that's where I create the thumbnails. So yeah, so you should expect some more of these airport updates and some other mall planes. Well, I'll still do mall plane unboxings with my DSLR camera when I do a thumbnail, but I think for Roseville airport updates and many future airport updates, I'm now going to be using the iPhone 14 Pro as the camera that I'll be creating a thumbnail for. So other than that, really interesting thing right there. And yeah, I think if I can like think of 2023 and what's gonna be happening in terms of like this aviation content and so forth, I may try like do some more flights. Of course, I do have like I'm thinking of like a spring break flight if that ever happens, and of course I'll be traveling a lot this summer, so there's gonna be some trip announcements that's gonna be happening, and yeah, I'm just very excited to do that as such. So as I give you guys more shots of this airport update, once again, KRVL, it's a nice airport layout. We got Uniteds and Breeze and Deltas, of course, because like they mainly operate here in Roseville. And hopefully I can try to like do Concourse B. If I can like start Concourse B. And hopefully I could try, like, I mean, I'm thinking of like adding Concourse B somewhere around March, but I don't know if how much it's gonna take up on my room, because like it's gonna be a big concourse, and I don't want to like make sure I don't take up a lot of space inside my room to the point like I have to move to another room for Concourse B. But other than that, hopefully I can at least get started, depending if I get like busy in college, because like I do have a couple of stuff that I need to like do, because like I gotta study for some stuff like aviation stuff, like instrument pilot and like commercial pilot large aircraft parts. So that's kind of like studying kind of like critical to me. But other than that, I do want to like do some more content on my YouTube for such. Yeah. But other than that, really excited to see what the future holds for 2023 and this airport update, or Roseville International in this case. And yeah, I'm excited for the future for this airport. And I do apologize for that. I did not mean to like move. I moved that, and the jet bridge, the wide body jet bridge, actually came out of the terminal itself. But yeah. So overall, don't want to keep this outro for too long. I do want to give you guys my goal, which if I can hit 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and hopefully this is before June of 2023. I can reveal my face on YouTube. No kidding, I will actually reveal my face on YouTube. Well, you're seeing my face on Instagram, but I want to like try to reveal my face on YouTube as well, so you guys can get familiarized. But well, what I look like basically. But yeah, so that is the goal for this airport update. Well, that's the goal for this month basically, and so many months to follow. Yeah. So that's the goal, my face reveal, if we hit 2,000k for this month and the following months. So yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys, well, I don't want to start with that. That's close to the end, but what I meant to say is, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. And make sure to check out all my other Roseville International Airport updates by clicking on the playlist that's in the description and the card as well. So you can check that out, and you can check out all my airport updates I did from the beginning to now. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.